Back with us now, Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. It's good to see you, sir. What is the state of the border right now? Because half a dozen states, we're hearing they're going to take back their National Guard and law enforcement who are helping out at the border. We're talking Ohio, South Dakota, Arkansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and Florida. We've got 60,000 migrants potentially headed here, 90,000 already in South America moving through Central America. What do you say?
It is a dangerous situation, Liz, and the Biden administration has essentially ceded control of our southern border to the cartels. And shame on the mainstream media for not covering this story, because literally people are dying in this country as a result of Joe Biden's policies and his enablers in Washington, D.C. We know in places just here in the second largest county in Arizona, fentanyl and opioids are now the highest cause of death amongst teenagers. We know that homicides are up 60% in places like Tucson, Arizona. So this is affecting us in ways that we can never recover from. And it's not only going to impact Arizona, but it is going to impact the entire United States of America. Shame on the Biden administration, shame on Schumer, shame on Cartel Kelly for allowing this to happen to the great United States of America.
So what are the data points that the White House uses that tells them that what they're doing is a good job and is good for the country?
You know, I'm not sure. We know by any objective measure that this is a massive failure. We know that there's a record amount of people illegally being apprehended, more than 2 million people across the southern border. We know that the number of getaways, 1,000 a day now. And Liz, these are gotaways. These are folks that don't want to be apprehended. So we have millions of people coming across here illegally that essentially Biden has decriminalized and incentivized coming here. And then you have thousands of people every week coming over that don't want to be caught. We know that amongst the people being apprehended, about 1 in 5 have criminal records. So there are literally rapists, arsonists, people that have committed heinous crimes that are coming into our country. We know people on the terror watch list have been apprehended. We know that there are 1.2 million people with deportation orders that aren't being deported. And that's why some of my colleagues have sued the Biden administration, trying to force them to build the wall and deport people that have deportation orders. It is absolute crazy. It's anarchy. And this isn't going to affect us as a country, Liz, not just today, not just tomorrow, but for decades to come.
We've been reporting since the summer, you and I have talked about it, months and months ago, that, the cartels were actually firing gunshots from across the border at our guys. Again, it happened last week. All this as the migrants flood in. The Texas National Guard, they've seen cartel gunfights increase near the border recently, and Mexican soldiers say they have been taunted in recent days by cartel members who are armed while standing across the Rio Grande River. So there have been multiple and growing instances of this happening too. And so when you see tens of thousands of migrants coming to the border, and what's not being understood, and you and I have talked about this, the drug cartels want to dragoon those migrants to be coyotes to deliver drugs across the border. Your word on that?
Yeah, absolutely. And so we are seeing this measured in ways that we can't even count. So we know that the cartels make money. They're making profit, billions of dollars of what's going on. We know that we've seen a surge and explosion of drugs coming into this country. We know the price of fentanyl, for example, is falling in places like Arizona because there's more supply. So that's going to have an effect on overdose deaths. That's going to have an effect on inner city violence from Chicago to St. Louis, all over this country. And we know that the cartels are becoming more and more brazen and emboldened because of the Biden administration. Yeah. And so I sit here, and I know you and I have talked about this, Liz. I worry that in the future, Mexico is on the brink of becoming a failed state because the Biden administration is incentivizing people to come here illegally. Well, yeah. It's monetizing it. And now the cartels are making so much money and they're seizing so much power that it's going to spill over into violence, not only into America, but I think in Mexico as well.
By the way, are you guys going to build your own wall for your state? Because Texas is moving on that. The White House has canceled multiple wall projects for the border wall. $100 million in supplies are sitting abandoned by the wall, but Texas is moving on its own wall. You can see the shot there, the drone shot. Those are the border wall supplies not being used for the wall right now. What are you guys going to do for your state? Quickly, 10 seconds.
Well, we have a lawsuit against the Biden administration. They have to build a wall. They have to complete it. We have to secure our border. Border security is national security, Liz.
All right, maybe you'll build a wall too. Who knows? Okay, Attorney General Mark Brnovich, we'll have you back on. We're so sorry we ran out of time. It's good to see you.